They told you history but never told you the truth. What if everything you've been taught was incomplete? From the voices they ignore to the wisdom they buried. Wake up or stay asleep.
My name is Mystic Omar. I come from the mountains of Jamaica, where the wind still carries the voice of the ancestors and the blue mountains hold secrets older than history itself. Bloodline led me across the waters to the mountains of Panama, where I lived among Muhiet people, Inded, the keepers of ancient wisdom who still live close to the earth and far from the illusion of modern life. I come with a message from the indigenous elders of Brazil and the voices of the ancestors. Humanity stands at a parallel shift, evolve or die. The earth is speaking, spirit is warning, and the time to awaken is now.
Telepathically, I heard it. And I listened to the voice, right? When exactly what the voice was telling me. I must have been about five at the time. I was just coming up to 6 because I left.
Hold on for a minute. Hold on, you can't let that slide. You tried to go see a shaman at 5.
At 5, yeah. I'm going to his house. No,
and why did you want to see a shaman at 5? Like, what do a 5-year-old want to see a shaman for? Can you ask that right quick?
No, what
I would never thought to go see the shaman at 5 or a preacher or anything at 5.
No, but remember though, this is the guy that's running the place. This is the guy that's calling all the shots. You've never seen him. Jamaica's not like America, like, America's big, right? You got millions of people. If you're hearing somebody's name, you might not never see them. But in Jamaica, you're hearing somebody's name all the time, but you're never seeing them. You're like, man, I've never seen this guy. We're always hearing about him. Do you understand? So it's a curiosity now. Mm-hmm. You want to go and see, how's this guy look? That's how Jamaica is. It's a small environment. Right. It's only got 4 million people. So if you're hearing somebody's name, you must see them. You're hearing a Buju Banton, you must see them. You're hearing like a Beres Hammond, one of these big singers, you must see them. But a guy that's in your village, he lives in Detroit. You live in Detroit. He lives 5 minutes around the corner from you, through some field. You've never seen this guy. Never. You know what I mean? They talk about him like, you know what I mean? Like, they talk about him like he's on a different level. You need to go see it for yourself.
And so what was he? So what did you learn? Did you end up going to see the shaman?
I'll tell you what I learned. That these guys are serious guys. These guys are serious guys. They're on a different level. If you're not welcome, you will never see them. So if you're not welcome and get the go ahead, you can never see them. They'll be right in your face, and you just won't see them. Right in your face.
Why? Why wouldn't you see them?
Because you're not ready.
Why wouldn't you see them?
Because you're not ready for that knowledge yet.
So what blocks the vision for you not to see him? Is this something spiritual that what would if he walking around, why couldn't you see him with your eye?
The shamans.
What would block that vision from you seeing him?
The shamans, right? They know how to read you. They know if you're spiritually ready or if your eyes are open. So if your eyes are open, you cannot see them. It's just like we hear people talk about the reptiles and reptilians. Back in the day, our people used to talk with them and do business with them. All right? Our people used to have a pact with them. Them and us was one. You know what I mean? But remember, they've got a cloaking technology where they could cloak themselves to look like us. Or they could cloak themselves and their ships to be invisible.
Yeah, hold on, quick question for the audience who doesn't know who a reptilian is. What is a reptilian?
That's like
something short.
That's the reptilians are the old races. All right, these are one of the old races that came before us. All right, remember they were here before us. All right, the reptilians. They're the old race. There was a lot of, not all of us, because some of us come from a different system. You know what I mean? A star system out there. The government know this. That's why they watch us. You know what I mean? They know who we are. Some of us come from, if you go like to the Dogon tribes in Africa, they tell you that we come from Sirius A or B. That's a different star system. But that's where some of us come from. Not all of us. Some of us come from different star systems. But the reptilians, they come from star systems too. But they've been on the earth before us. Some of us. All right? A long time.
So it's an older race. Some people that came before us.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then
go ahead.
when we came, some of us made some new men. All right? That's why they say, let's make man in our image. So some of us, when we came, we made a set of race in our vision. in our image
Who made
before we
these
left
people?
back.
Who made these people? So is this the reptilian people? Did they the ones that make man? So who made man?
No. The people that made man in their own image is the ones that came from the different systems, like us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they, you know, like they put it in the movies, right? They put it in the movies like Stargate One and all these Stargate movies. They tell you that the pyramids, you know, the other solar system beings used to come,
Mm-hmm.
look like black people, land at the pyramids, come through the pyramids, and you know, run the place basically, give the orders, and then they lift up on their
Who are
ships.
these people?
These people are different star system people. Remember, we're not
So
alone out here. We're not alone on the planet, and we're not alone in the system.
so if you had to guess, how many people would you say that, you know, so it's something like Star Wars the movie, you're saying it's people from different
Oh,
all
definitely.
over the galaxy? It's like
Oh, definitely, man. Star Wars is you know me, Lion. It's like this, right? I'm a fan of Hollywood. I've always been into the red carpet and watching the movies. And you know,
right.
the red carpet's a big affair. You know that when a movie is getting ready to drop, they're rolling out that carpet. Everybody's got to see what's happening, because let me tell you why they have to see what's happening. You're thinking it's just because they want to support each other and, you know, push each other's creativity, because Will Smith's got a star role, or this actor, you know, Leonardo DiCaprio's got a next star role. No, it's not that. It's because the writers,
Mm-hmm.
the Hollywood writers, they've got the connection to some of these other entities, and sometimes these entities come through them in the writing and dictate what they write. So that's why they call it casting, because they're
casting spells, right?
yeah, and they're not only casting, they're mediums. So the entities are coming through them from the other realms and broadcasting down what they for write. And so they write the script, and then you get the star actor to act it out. So when you're looking at those shows, you're thinking that these shows are not real. That's why the elite, they all go to the red carpet events, because they know that that is the new program that's been given by the other entities then. Because like I said, it's all like Star Wars. There's a whole heap of them.
Right.
You know, there's blue ones,
So
there's
I want
green ones.
to. Mm-hmm. So how does that? So with them running their things the way they were, what? How does AI play into all of this? What is AI, and why would they give us AI?
Well, the reason why they'll give us the AI, yeah, is basically they know the AI is not good for us. And not only that, they know that we had AI back in the day. AI has been an old technology. You know, the Egyptians, the Atlanteans, all of these, we had AI long time. It's just old technology. Everything they give us is just old. It's been here before. But they just, you know, caught it up like it's something new. Because they're always digging up all of the burial grounds, all of the ancient cities, them. Whether it be in Asia, South America, Africa, no matter where it is, they're always digging up. The archaeologists are always digging because they need to find more technology that we had. So the AI, they know that it's not good for us. Not only that, they basically put the AI
So
in most of the movies. They put it in most of the movies.
how?
Most of the movies from the
What do you mean?
90s.
What you mean AI? So for the person who know, AI means artificial intelligence.
Mhm.
So why would they put artificial intelligence in the movie?
It's not really them. They just get, like I told you, they're just mediums. The script is getting downloaded to them. The Hollywood writers that write these stuff and put it in these blockbusters, it's not them that's coming up with these ideas and these big movie roles and these big films. They're just mediums. We call them shamans. That's what they are. They're just channels.
So so who does it benefit then?
The AI,
Yes,
it,
who does
it ben-
AI benefit?
AI benefits the people that are running the place, that are running the world, and the people that are running the world,
How does it benefit them?
because the AI is going to take over, and it's they put in the movie what AI is going to do. It's gonna go to war against humanity, and it's gonna take over the place. Now, in order for them to take over the place, they have to kill out a lot of the humanity. So it benefits them to kill out a lot of us, because then they can start again. Remember, everything's like a circle. So it just goes around, you know? So, like I said, there's been many races before us. And if you listen to their story, they tell you that the dinosaurs was here one time and then they died out. Okay? The giants, if you listen to them in some of their stories, they tell you that there were giants here. But they tell you
I've heard that.
in fiction. They tell you in fiction books. In most of the fiction books that they write, they tell you stories of giants. But they will never tell you it's non-fiction, because then you will start asking too much questions. But they died out. Now we're here. You understand? And then before us, the history that they hid, you know, we had clones. We were making all sorts of creatures. They tell you Atlantis was the terriblest place. That's why God, you know, sank it. They were doing all sorts of stuff there. You know, they had all sorts of technology that you wouldn't believe. You know, these technologies just didn't disappear. You know, if Atlantis sunk, they went down there and got some of those technologies back, including the AI. So the AI right now is in all the Terminator movies. It's in all the Will Smith I Am Robot movies. They've been putting it in our face, these mediums that write these Hollywood scripts. So all these scripts that you see them writing in Hollywood with AIs, like I Am Robot, or, you know, the one where Will Smith is half man, half robot, they're letting us know that we have to merge in order to survive what's to come. Okay? So, you know, a lot of soldiers coming back from war, damaged, lost their limbs and that. They gave them a mechanical limb, a mechanical leg that works normally, fine. You know, they control it with their mind and it moves just like how their leg was moving. So the AI is there to replace us. There's not going to be no jobs because the AI is going to take over most of the jobs. You know, but the 5G is in place for the AI. Before the AI take over, you need to make sure that the AI could have connectivity all over the world. Okay, no matter where he is. You know. So China is way ahead of us. You know, they got the most AI running, you know, everything in China. You know, most of the jobs, you don't report to your boss when you're late. It's the AI. If you're sleeping at work, the AI wake you up. You've been sleeping. Read your vitals. It saw that your heart rate dropped. You know, you were sleeping. So everything is already AI in China. We're just catching up. And when we do catch up, like I said, the AI going to replace us because all the cars are going to be self-driven, like Tesla. All the jobs are going to be replaced by AI. So when you see some presidents saying that they don't want the immigrants no more, he's letting you know what's going to happen in the future. They got fifth generation clones that are robots that look like me and you.
Yeah. So hold on. Let me dial it back a little bit. So when you say that, that makes me think about the war and the oil, you know, and so is the war a stage about oil so they can bring in AI and all electric cars? Because electric cars, electric currency, it gives them more control over the people. So you think the war has something to do with AI?
The war is to leave the third world in the back. And the first world is going fully AI, meaning it's going fully electric, fully digital, fully coinless. You know, everything's going to be controlled by AI, everything. Now, the third world, if they could get oil from wherever the oil is going to be, if they could get it, they'll still have these old cars and be stuck in time. You know what I mean? While they're getting ready to go back to the old days. Because like I told you, the AI is old days. You know, all this technology you see them coming with is old technology. We had it before. We just didn't remember. So the war is a stage. It's just an agreement between China and, you know, America to switch the control structure, because all of the American companies right now have gone to China. They've all registered in China. All of them.
But I thought Trump was trying to bring them back. I heard a couple companies came back when Trump got in office.
No, they're not coming back. They're not. They already know. They've already signed and shook hands. They've shook deals already. It's signed. China's going to take over. China's going to win the next war. China's going fully with the AI. Fully. After this war, the AI is running the place fully because China is going to take over. And China is fully AI'd. And not only that, just remember that all these technology that China is building is electronic scooters, electronic motorbikes, electronic cars, electronic drones, that charge up themselves. Everything is automated now. So I remember China is the only place that's ready for this, because when the AI takes over all the jobs, what's the people going to do? But in China, the government gives the people things to do. So the people, even when the AI is taking over China, the government will find something for the people to do. But once it gets to America, and all the people, the delivery drivers, I've got the Benz trucks that drive themselves, the Uber drivers, the Uber Eats, I've got the drones delivering the food to people's houses.
Right.
All of the stuff.
So what are they going to do with the people?
Go ahead.
I'm saying, what are they going to do with the people then? Because people are just not going
to... That's a good question.
If AI is going to take over all of those sectors, what are the people going to do? Like, what are they going to do with the people? It's going to be like Hunger Games around here?
Exactly. The people have to go down in number. As remember, you hear Bill Gates and all these guys, always telling you that
yes, too many people on the planet.
There's too many people on the planet. Why do you think they're telling you that? Every one of them, they keep saying the same thing. There's too many people on the planet. Every one of these people, because they already know the contract. America is under contract. 500 million people in the world. That's the contract. Let me say it again to you, so you're clear. There's only supposed to be...
The contract is to kill 500 million people in the world? Hold on, say it one more time. What? 500 million people for what?
To live on the planet. 500 million people is supposed to be on the planet at one time. How many billions we got now? 8 billion? 9 billion?
This is according to Bill Gates, you're saying?
No, this is not according to Bill Gates. Bill Gates and all these other guys keep telling you that we're overpopulated because they know the contract. Remember, these guys are the ones that study the system. So when they study the system, they know the contract that the system signed. I know the system. I know the contract that is signed to take over from England. England signed a contract with Rome. Rome signed a contract with Greece. Greece signed a contract with Egypt. Egypt signed a contract with Atlantis. They're all signing contracts to go all the way back. They're all signing contracts. But when they sign contracts, they tell you that these reptilians have been around for years, even before us. That's what I'm trying to tell you. When you sign contract, they tell you on the contract how many people is supposed to be on the planet, because remember, we're not on the planet on our own. That's why there's so much reserves out there. There are underground cities with all sorts of different creatures, all sorts of different people, all sorts of different laboratories in jungles creating hybrids. We're not here on our own. So the forefathers of America signed the contract with the ancestors that they're only going to keep 500 million people on the earth, and they're not going to exceed that. They're going to use disease, wars to keep that number down. But remember, we've been multiplying at an alarming rate. So what's going to happen now is they have to bring in the third war and use disease, nuclears, whatever they're going to use to wipe out a whole heap of us. You know what I mean? And they already know when they use the nuclears, those places are going to be resting for like hundreds of years before they come back, because it's going to be contaminated. And if you look at Chernobyl got destroyed by the nuclear blast in Russia. And Russia and Ukraine have been fighting over that land the other day, because that land has come back. Wildlife has come back, everything's come back. But the forefathers signed it, you know. They signed the American people up to it. Bill Gates and that's what they always tell you. There's too many people. There's too many people. They're letting you know that they have to wipe out some people to keep their contract.
Well, let me play the devil's advocate. So what is God plan on this? I know their plans, but what is God's plan?
No, God's plan is to upset
Is
them.
this meant to happen?
No. God's plan is to upset them. Their plan is to keep that on the planet. But God is just telling them that they're not God. So they cannot dictate what could go on the planet. So what God does, even though they plan to do their secret killings and, you know, their disease culling and their purging of the generations. That's why in every country you always see a genocide going on. It's purging the numbers on the planet. But God says, all right, you know what? Even though you're purging and purging and purging, we're going to keep the number rising and rising. So you might go to Africa and go to Rwanda and have a genocide down there. You might go to Sudan, have a genocide down there. You might even go to Middle East, down in Palestine, and have a genocide down there. You might even go to some parts of China and lock up the people, them say that they're Muslims, and you're going to reprogram them in prisons and kill out some of them. God's showing you that even though you try these things, the number's still going up. You cannot stop it. It's not in their control. So God is just there laughing at them. I remember this has been going on since the beginning of time. You know, you got two sides. You got the positive and the negative. It's just like a magnet, you know. You got the positive and the negative. So the negative want to dictate the law, but the positive's just looking and just watching, you know, and just counterbalancing and counteracting. So what I've been told is this. We're in a movie. All of us, we're in a movie of life. And we're all being watched by the ancestors them. All of us are being watched by the ancestors them. And the ancestors them see our challenges every day. And just like we will go to the movies, buy popcorn, buy our Coke, you know, sit down and have a nice show, the ancestors, this is what they do as well. So let's just say that